So we are upon the knockout stages of the Euros now, and I'm very excited. I think the group stage is, I don't think were that surprising. There were a few results here and there, but there's not like Scotland weren't top of their group or something. So the big players have shown up for the most part. So I think we're in for very, very fun knockout stages. So, of course, I'm still going with my original picks. They will still be number ones. But I'm doing another prediction of the entire knockout stage now. All the seeds are done for the first, seconds, and the few third places. So here we go. Game number one, we have Wales versus Denmark. Denmark, I had as my dark horses team, and I think going off two of their performances for obvious reasons for their first one, not really paying too much attention. I think they're very solid against Wales. Wales didn't really impress that much. I think they were very lucky to draw with Switzerland, and they didn't perform at all against Italy. So I feel like against a good team like Denmark, I have Denmark progressing to the quarterfinals because of their performances so far and because they're my dark horses. Next up, we have Italy versus Austria. Italy have been perfect. Technically, one of my other dark horses, but I do think Italy are going to do really well and do what they realistically is going to be expected of them and dominate that Austria game. So I have Italy winning that one as well. Next up, we have Netherlands versus the Czech Republic. This one, I think, again, it's in terms of expectations, Netherlands should be winning this one comfortably. And off their performances, I would agree with that. Of course, Czech with Patrick Schick up top, very fun. I think fan favourites, especially because of that goal. Woo, sheesh. But I would pick Netherlands as the favourites to progress through. Next one, we have, in my eyes, one of two blockbuster games, Belgium versus Portugal. Wow. That's one of the games where, if I'm going to be honest, I'm not 100% confident in my picks because obviously I'm still sticking to my guns that Belgium are going to win the entire Euros. But I mean, a team containing the star power that Portugal have, including a certain Cristiano Ronaldo, it feels almost wrong picking against them. I mean, they haven't played that badly either. I think against, who was it? Against Germany, they just couldn't defend for some reason, which I think is my actual reasoning behind it. I think if they can't defend against a team that has such good attack like Germany, Belgium, I think, have a better attack, and I think they could struggle. So I'm picking Belgium for this one as well. But I think in the round of 16, it's the one that I'm least confident about, to be honest. Next up, we have Croatia versus Spain. This one, I think, is one of the ones that I'm picking against probably the favourite. And I'm going to pick Croatia. Croatia have performed very well. I'd say against. I'm going to backtrack and contradict myself a little bit, actually. Against England, they didn't do amazingly, but England have made games quite interesting in a boring way. But Spain are terrible. Spain aren't good, even if they get through this round not going to make it that far. Having a number 9 as their main striker being Morata. I mean, every single game there's been something to talk about for him of how bad he was. I saw a thing on OneFootball where they do rate the players. In a 5-0 win, Morata got a 4 out of 10. Yeah, and for a team that's like can't create amazing chances against good teams, I'm not counting Slovakia as a good team. Yeah, I think Croatia, they're just going to smack them. I do. I think Croatia are going to smack them. Next up, we have France versus Switzerland. This one I think is probably my most second most confident behind the Italy pick. France are going to win. Switzerland have, to be fair to them, they've performed really well. Like against Wales, I find them quite unlucky, but they did really well. They performed good. They were getting chances, and it wasn't just one person carrying. It was many different, like, they attacked lots of different players stepping up. So I think they're fun to watch, but France, bro. They were undefeated in their group of death. Like, yeah, I have France winning that one. Next up, we have the second, in my opinion, blockbuster game, England versus Germany. Obviously, because I follow the Premier League, I live in Australia. The main media and stuff are English that I watch because of the Premier League and everything. So everyone's talking about, oh, is it coming home? Is it coming home? It entered the round of 16. Let's be real. Germany are going to beat England. End of story. England have gone a 1-1 game. Like, I forgot. They've scored They scored 2 goals. They scored 2 goals in 3 matches of a group that they should have won comfortably. Lay down, puppy. Lay down. But yeah, England haven't really performed that well, and I know Southgate is getting so much stick for his interesting lineups, but Germany are going to be too much for them. I mean, against England's biggest is their defense, I think, and the fact that Germany carved up Portugal and shipped in 4 goals, even though 2 of them were own goals. I think Germany are going to be quite comfortable in winning this one. Next up, we have Sweden versus Ukraine. 2 teams, I think they'll feel very lucky to be able to get those draws. To be fair to them, they don't have that star player either side. I've got Ukraine for it. I think just based off performances, against Spain, Sweden had 80% possession or something against them, and the only good thing about it was Isaac, their striker. So I think off that merit, it doesn't look great for them. So I think Ukraine are going to get it done. So that's all of my round of 16 picks. Next, I haven't found a proper draw of everything. It's just got numbers on the Euro 2020 website. So I could have messed up here, and my draw's completely wrong. But let's just be safe. In my draw, the quarterfinals, game 1 is France versus Croatia, the rematch of the World Cup final. That's a very fun game. But again, I don't see the result changing too much. Might be a little bit closer. might be a little bit closer, but I still have France winning that one. I think Croatia, like, their squad, it isn't the youngest, especially the star player and Modric. He's not getting younger since the World Cup, so I feel like they might have dropped levels a little bit compared to the World Cup, and France could very well have gone even better. Let's be real. So, yeah, I have France winning that one and progressing to the semis. Next up, we have Belgium versus Italy. Wowee, what a tough game. I still have to pick Belgium, I think, because I have picked them to win the tournament. But yeah, Belgium have got such a difficult run in if they're going to do that, because I feel like I'm very confident on my pick of Italy beating Austria, but then either Belgium or Portugal, whoever wins, have to face Italy then. And then, spoiler alert, in the semis, they'll have to verse France as well. France or Croatia. Well, France, Croatia, or Spain, realistically. That is mental. Fun for the fans, difficult for the players. So, again, I have to pick Belgium. But my only merit I can really go off, because Italy haven't really shown any difficulties, because they haven't versed a team of Belgium's caliber, and they will not have leading up to that. So that's my thing of, they might be so confident, yep, we've run for everyone, this is easy, haven't conceded a goal yet, easy. And then they get to an actual challenge, real struggle, and they might drop the performances a little bit. That's what we're saying to get Belgium through. Next one, we have Netherlands versus Denmark. This is a good one. I think this is a very strong game. You've got Netherlands with somehow Wijnaldum pretty much a striker. I just have to mention that, because watching their games, he's the one following up from like shots outside the box. Wijnaldum's the one following up. I still that is so funny to me. But I'm going with Denmark with that one. I'm really high on them, and I think you've got calling him the Danish Maldini. I saw that somewhere for Christensen scoring that banger of a goal. But I think when you get into the later mid rounds of the tournament, I think because the schedule's so tight, fitness and just the willingness, the heart to fight for the badge, fight for your country, I think is going to play a big part. And I feel like Denmark, for all the Danish people, for their countries, for their own self-pride, and for Eriksen, I think they've got a lot more to fight for. So I feel like they can get quite deep in this tournament. No spoilers alert, but that's what we got. Final quarterfinal is Ukraine versus Germany. Don't want to drag this one too on. I think Germany. Yeah, I got Germany. Next up, in my personal draw, that could be wrong, we have Belgium versus France. Holy, this was the semi-finals of the World Cup, I think, or the quarterfinals. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's the semis, but banger of a game. This one is, I think if it happens, obviously it's, in terms of quality, I think that is the game of the tournament. Obviously, in terms of FIFA World Rankings, it's 1 and 2. Crazy game. And I feel like it's just going to be Belgium. I think it's going to be Belgium. When you've got a team that, if you have to be realistic, a team that attacks more on the counter is probably going to score a lot more goals. Is probably going to score a lot more goals than a team that's slow and steady builds you out. So like that. Against, who was it against? It was their first one against Germany. That's what France did against a top opposition. Or was it Portugal? No, it was Germany. It was Germany. So I feel like France are going to default to a lot more safer approach and don't take too many risks. Take your time and attack. I think Belgium are just going to win the ball back, boom, pass it to Lukaku, and score. So I feel like that's how that game would play out. So that's why I've got Belgium going into the grand finals. Next semi-final is Germany versus Denmark. This one is what my thinking when I was doing this is that Germany were a little bit inconsistent in their groups. First game, they played quite horribly. Let's be real, they weren't that good. Against Portugal, amazing. Against Hungary, a bit shaky. Drew 2-2 with a team that they should have beat. So I think for Germany to, how I have them beating England, then Ukraine, I feel like that inconsistency is going to come up. And I feel like Denmark can capitalize. Call it wishful thinking, but I have Denmark winning that one. Again, I think the quality, one of the things, I just want to get this on my deck. Braithwaite, he gets memed so much on like I see on Instagram and Twitter for some reason, because he's not on Messi's level, which I think comfortably you can say of all time there's one other person, Ronaldo and Messi are on each other's level. And Braithwaite is not. He's a sick striker. He's a sick attacker. Watching Denmark's games, he looks very good. Like, he honestly looks very threatening. So I think their attack is really good with him, Poulsen as well. Like, again, I'll say this again. I'm very high on Denmark, and I have them progressing to the finals. Which, yeah, wishful thinking, I think more so, but the finals, I have Belgium versus Denmark. Very mysteriously, my pick for the winners and my pick for the dark horses of the tournament. But yeah, this is what I got. And to be honest, for Denmark, they've actually got a quite favourable route to the finals in this. But I think at the end of the day, everyone knows my pick for this one. It's Belgium. I think they can go all the way. But I think looking at how I've got their schedule, I don't think it's going to be a failure if they don't make it there, because, well, game 1 is Portugal, game 2, Italy, game 3, France, and game 4, I have Denmark. Like, there's many banana slips there. But yeah, I think Belgium will win this tournament. They've got a really tough route to the finals. Denmark, my dark horses, I think they can make the finals. Semi-finals, at least. But they have more of a favourable route. So yeah, that's my predictions for the knockout stages. Yeah, there we go.